Yeah, sure.
But do you think that as Chinese people become better educated and have a higher standard of living, they'll start calling out for more democracy? Is there a slim chance that they will get a more democratic form of government, which would then lead to Tibet having its regional government?
Yes, that's very true. If China becomes more open and more democratic, then people will get a fuller understanding of the problems in Tibet and the solution His Holiness Dalai Lama and the Tibetan people are trying to seek. And then it will be possible to find a solution. That I think that's where our hope lies. And I don't know whether you've seen or heard His Holiness Dalai Lama, but very often he been saying that if you look at Tibet issue only in a narrow sense, looking only on Tibet, it's hopeless things happening in Tibet. But if you look at the larger context, China itself is changing very fast, and China cannot remain as it is, and the world is also changing. And China, if Chinese leaders, they want to play an important international role now, which they want to play, and of course they deserve that position. Then they have to be more open and morally responsible, more accountable. So that pressure is there, and there are also statements by Chinese leaders that democracy, without democracy, economic progress is not possible. And so I think there are forces in China which would lead to greater opening up in democracy, which would be good for Tibet. Yeah, that's for sure. And that's why we also try to encourage more dialogue, more closer relations between other governments and Chinese government, because sometimes it may seem a little odd that we encourage, for example, with Europe. We are always saying that the European Union should have good relations with China, or the individual countries. And His Holiness Dalai Lama has, over the years, consistently said that China should not be isolated. And so we are saying that because if China is more integrated into the world, then that would have a positive impact on the thinking of the Chinese leaders, and also they will open up doors for the Chinese people. If you follow, if you've been following like U.S.-China relations. U.S.-China relations during the early part of President Clinton. United States, you had this big issue about the most favored trading nation status. And in the USA Congress, there was a very strong view against it, not to give the most favored nation status to China. And in the public also, there was a lot of reservation and opposition. At the height of that debate, His Holiness Dalai Lama was in Washington, happened to be, he was. And many of our friends, they said, this is a very good opportunity to use his influence to block the granting of most favored nation status. Even in U.S. Congress, many of these the leaders, they encourage His Holiness to speak against that, the granting. And then, of course, our Tibetan people also. I think there's a very broad, the broad view, the feeling is that China should not be given that. But His Holiness Dalai Lama, when he was in Washington, he said the opposite. He said China should be given that, because China is, the largest, populated country. It's a huge human being, very large, and China, should not be punished. China should be given most favored nation status. At the height of it, and he said precisely because of that. To open up China and give Chinese people more opportunities to develop and so on. And then if you look at the World Olympic, now the Chinese government, accuse us of creating problem for them. But when China was, bidding for the chance to host Olympics, right at the beginning, as soon as there was known that China was one of the countries bidding for the Olympics, and His Holiness Dalai Lama was asked by some journalists, what do you think? And again, many people said, our own people, our supporters, many politicians said China should not be given. And many said that Olympics is a good weapon to hit on Chinese head. Denial of it would be good, should not be given, China should. And His Holiness he said, China, why not? China is a big country, it's an ancient civilization, and is deserving of that honor. And some say, I don't know, there are views that most favored nation status was also then, given to China. His Holiness has contributed to that. And Olympic also, there are views that his statement had helped in the final voting. But the fact is that we are, we've always said that we are not against Chinese people, we are not against China. But unfortunately, the Chinese government, is always accusing us of being anti-China and against Chinese people. And that is a problem we have, trying to bridge, come closer relations between Chinese and us as peoples.